What's up, Internet? We are in Florida, Orlando, at HamCation. So this is like the SHOT Show, if you will, of ham radio, communications, comms, amateur radio, all that cool stuff. So this section of HamCation is like a yard sale, so to speak. Call it swap. See stuff that's far older than we are, probably collectively, and some new stuff. So over here, I actually bought a power supply and a tower yesterday. We got here yesterday. Pretty cool. So you literally find anything here. All sorts of stuff for comms. So yeah, people come out here and they set up their campers, spend the whole weekend here. So this area is for, you know, RVs, and then the swap meet yard sale, if you will. Trailer for sale, boys. Offered for sale. He's got all kind of goodies on here. 10 grand. Solar panels, batteries, 1200 watt inverter, HVAC, 360 video with monitor recording, 32-inch smart TV, multi-band cellular device, telescoping antenna mount. Dang, dude. You know, considering the cost of overland like camper trailers, this one comes rigged up with radio stuff for far less than them things cost. So you put your mattress in here and sleep. So you may be asking yourself, why is all this important? Well, communication's important. Grid down situation, it's not a LTE radio, which is bullcrap. If you guys are seeing ads about certain radios that use LTE, that's a cellular network. Well, if the cellular network goes down, those aren't going to work. It's not radios. They're push to talk, you know, communications through cell service. So you need to know, have the ability to get on the air with just a battery, a radio, and an antenna. It could even be a HT like I got here on my shoulder. And there's ways to get a antenna up in a tree, so height is might when it comes to VHF, UHF. So come to things like this, you can build out little kits and things like that. What they call man packs, basically a little pack that you can carry with you that has everything you need for communications in an emergency situation. But a lot of people say, well, I don't want to get a license, and I don't want to this, and I don't want to that. And I can understand that, especially people that don't want to be on a list somewhere, so to speak. I understand that. But you're doing yourself a disservice by not being licensed for a few reasons. One, learning and understanding actually what you're freaking doing. Because you can take guitar string and make a freaking antenna out of it if you know what you're doing. So you're makes you a more resourceful person. But you learn the lingo, you learn how to properly operate and things like that. Regardless if you're doing it for fun or doing it for an emergency situation, you need to be able to communicate with those that are on the bands communicating. So that's why I encourage people to get licensed, at least get a technician's license. It's not hard. And by being licensed, you're afforded the ability to practice it. So in the event that you need to do it, you know how to do it. You know that your equipment works. You understand the lingo. You understand why it works and all that stuff. We'll demonstrate that later today and tomorrow. But you come to things like this and explore the vast amount of stuff, old and new, that you can do with radio. And to some people, you might be looking at this and look at all this. This is all old junk. Well, maybe to some people, but others, they'll buy this old junk, either fix it, make it work, or rob parts off of it to build other kits or make their stations work better. Think about it. It's easy to do. You go to hamradioprep.com. I'm not getting paid to say anything about that. I paid for it myself. That's what I use to study so I can get licensed. It's easy. Do it. Big money grip right there.
That's right. Some folks just can't hide money.
Some folks just can't hide money. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's my speed right there. 7.3. you a few examples of some mobile situations you could do, or emergency comms, or whatever.
There's someone following you.
He's a nobody. Don't worry about that guy following us.
Keep out.
So this is the amateur radio emergency service people call airwaves. And a lot of counties across America have these available that hams get together and do stuff, practice emergency comms, and then during an emergency situation they'll set up a trailer like this with all their antennas and stuff and be able to do emergency comms. Alright, it's too hot out here. We're gonna go inside to the swap building. Got his radio with his antenna connections.
Just come ahead and know it's hooked up.
Antenna connection that you can extend to an external you need to your radio speaker. On your screen. So this is signals, either digital signals, people sending information. POTA right here. That's crazy, man. So you basically got a computer, if you will, with your coax to your antenna and everything ran into it, and you run radio off of the computer. So that's people sending digital information. And this one here, this is voice. What you're looking at here is, these are people talking right here on 40 meters. So he's moving this around, which is moving on the band scope. So these are all voice transmissions. So you're sitting here looking at your screen and you want to listen to somebody. You scroll over to the signal that you're seeing, and then you can talk to a person or listen to them. So that's what's cool about these types of things. You can visually see the transmissions. So instead of just hunting around on a dial till you hear somebody, you can say, oh, somebody's right there, and you can go to them. Pretty freaking cool. But a lot of a dinero. You understand what I'm saying? So what we got here, this is CW, people doing Morse code. Hear this? So people talk about how radio is dead. It's not true. There's people right now, this is all people doing CW, which is Morse code. So there's people talking to each other using Morse code right now.
Only goes, what frequency? Are you going 10 meters? Yeah. Just like now, you're controlling my California station.
Okay. that was what I was wondering. Where's the antenna at?
It's in California, Monterey Bay. So you're on frequency here. You're down there. The blue one is you.
I just wanted to hear the audio.
Oh,
I was
sure.
trying to get to somebody talking, because every time
They always go, this guy's talking. Yesterday I worked with a guy in Illinois. Really confused the heck out of him, because he said, "Where are you located?" I said, "Well, I'm talking to you from Orlando, Florida, but my transmitter's in California."
That's
He goes,
crazy.
Which direction do I point the beam?
California. So I don't know if the audio picked up or not, but this Elecraft guy was talking about how that radio that we were just showing, the radio is actually in California. His antenna and all that's in California. He's piping that in to that, and he can literally control his radio in California with that. But again, mucho dinero. You don't have to have souped up stuff like this right here to get on the air. You don't need that. You can talk just as well all over the world with small things that you can put into a backpack. What's up, Internet? We're at the St. John's River Ferry landing. Fixing to go down to St. John's River across to Amelia Island. Just set up our radios, do POTA activation under our club call, WD4 ARC. I got convoy here. I got my buddy Matt and Elijah in this truck. That's my truck. Chris is riding with me, and we got Colin and Ken back here getting ready to get on the ferry with antenna tower sticking out the back of my truck. So this is the first time in my recollection I've ever been on a ferry. I think I've been on some ferries in North Carolina when I was a kid, but I don't remember them, so this will be a cool little trip. And we're going to show you guys how we set up for emergency comms and practice for emergency comms by just calling out, making contacts, see how many people all over this country, near and far, that we may be able to talk to. So POTA activation starts now. All right, we are on the ferry and we are underway. State Park, Florida. Got ourselves parked here, and we are quickly going to activate this park. So activating the park basically means the goal is to get at least 10 contacts. Get 10 contacts and you log them. You send them, you technically activated the park if you get at least 10. And then we put it in a log, send it to Parks on the Air, and then they put it into the system. We've got his antenna, screwdriver antenna hooked up on the front of his truck. Coax ran back here. He's basically got a station thing set up back here. He's got a 100 amp hour battery that's powering his radio and a tuner, I'm assuming. No, the screwdriver's the radio and the antenna to drive the antenna up and down. So we're just going to try to get our minimum of 10 here, and then we're going to scoot up the road another couple hours to Georgia to another park, and we're going to really try to hammer down on contacts there.
Copy the 4518. I've got you 5x3, Oscar Hotel.
So when you hear somebody say 59, that's a signal report. So this guy's got a lot of people trying to call him. So everybody's trying to call him at the same time.
Roger, roger. I copied your 57 into Park United Sierra 2904. Please copy a 5 and 5. Your 5 and 5 into my park of United Sierra 1831, Amelia Island, Florida, QSL.
So you may be asking yourself, okay, y'all are in Florida. You just talked to somebody in Tennessee and you got a 5.9, really good signal, very good. So the signal report he gave him was less than a 5.9. Why? You're closer. Okay, so we're bouncing our signal off the ionosphere, right? So due to the bounce, right, where that's landing with a strong signal in Tennessee at that time, the signal was really good, and the report was really good. Just because South Carolina's closer to us does not mean that we're going to be louder in South Carolina, because we're actually jumping over South Carolina. He just happened to be able to hear us. Sometimes that's not the case. Like, we may not get, I would assume, we're not going to get any contacts in Florida, I would assume, right? Because we're literally bouncing out of Florida.
You too, take care. So we just got Maryland.
Okay.
So the 3 so far you can see on the map. So we're here at the green dot.
Yep.
And these are the 3 stations we've worked so far. Once we finish, we'll we'll pull back and look and see where our signal's reaching out. This is great for logging and mapping and seeing how well your signal's getting out with the compromised setup, if you would consider this a compromised setup. I mean, I'm in the back of an excursion with a little radio, a battery, and a laptop. I mean, this is really all you need.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a good thing about having the computers and stuff is you can see on a map, basically, unless you have a map with you and you're plotting it manually. You can kind of see during these conditions, this time of the year, this position, this antenna setup, this is kind of where my signal goes. We may could turn his truck and point his truck that way, and we stop going north and start hitting west, or heck, Europe, you know. So it's all about antenna positioning, and the antenna is a very, 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 very important part of this. You could have a $20,000 radio sitting right here and have a crappy antenna, and it's not going to do a whole lot. You could have a $100 radio right here and have a really good antenna, and you'll be amazed at where you can talk to.
Whiskey Delta 3 Delta, I've got you at about a 5 and 7. 5 and 7 into my park, 1831 QSL.
QSL, and I've got you 5-9 into Atlanta. Congratulations on the first activation.
Roger, Roger. We appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of your day, my friend. 7-3.
So yeah, so there we got, what, 3 or 4 contacts really quick. So because there's all that conversation going back and forth, people are finding us, right? So now he's getting contacts in. So, and we're still going West Virginia, Maryland, so we know this situation, this direction. That's what the radio does. Cool, huh?
Uniforms. We're going to switch operators here.
So Chris is going to switch up and
get in there, buddy.
take turns.
I don't know if I can do it.
I think you got it.
All right,
It's been a minute.
what's the call sign?
Whiskey Delta 4, Alpha Radio Charlie.
CQ Parks on the air. This is Whiskey Delta 4, Alpha or Radio Charlie calling CQ Parks on the air. Whiskey Uniform 3 Zulu got you a solid 5-9 in the park. US.
So as you can see, he switched operators. I want to let you guys know this as well. If you're interested in doing something like this, learning ham radio and eventually getting it, you don't have to be a ham radio operator. You can find a local club in your area and say, hey, I want to learn. As long as an operator is around, you can use their call sign. They'll let you run their equipment, right? So he's a hammer operator, but I'm just giving an example. If he wasn't, if he was just somebody that found us and was like, hey, can you guys show us the ropes? Sure, come on. You can run the radio, just use our call sign. As long as we're here, it's legal, it's fine. All right, so we're packing up. We're fixing to head up north a little bit more towards home and do another, we're just gonna do one more part?
Yeah.
But we're gonna give it to Beans at that one though, right?
That's right.
Okay. So we just wanted to stop here just to be sure to get our 10 contacts. So we technically activated the park. We're going to go to another one. We're going to travel off here in a minute to that. We're going to sit down. We're really going to freaking hammer it and really get some good communications in to see what we've done. So we've got, how many contacts we get? 27 contacts in what? Freaking 20 minutes?
Something like that, maybe 30, yeah.
Maybe 30 minutes. That's not setup time, but 30 minutes of being active on the radio. And we're going to look real quick at what we got just so you can get an idea of what our antenna was doing and what our signal was. I know we hit PA at least once. We hit West Virginia several times. We hit Maryland several times, North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, and North Texas right there.
And then we also had this really cool one here.
Oh, we actually did hit the edge of Florida, huh?
So it was ground waves. So
okay.
the signal goes up, but it also scatters around. He was able, as close as he was able to hear us right around.
Wow, interesting.
Where we are. Yeah.
And that's not super common,
It really depends on the band conditions.
Yeah. So the band conditions are really getting good. So yeah. So we're gonna pack up and we're gonna go north an hour-ish.
Yeah.
And do it again.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Don't touch the dial. Oh, this is on YouTube.
That's right.
My bad. Don't click nothing. Stay right here.
Stay right there.
And then one day, hopefully soon, before it gets hot, we're gonna set this bad boy up behind my shop. We'll burn up some people's speakers, hopefully. It's gonna be freaking awesome. That's for another video. Anyway, let's go. We gotta get something to eat and pack up.